I finally got 1 mile range on a tiny whoop sized 65 gram quadcopter. Been trying for 2 years to get long range like that. I first had to get long flight time because it takes a while to actually fly a mile and then fly back. So I was able to achieve that with the Telo motors and the Telo blades and also the Telo battery. And then I double the connectors. I get about 2% loss on my power wires when I have my connectors doubled. And had to take the transmitter power to 200 milliwatts. I get 3/4 mile range with 25 milliwatts, but I end up cutting my flight time down because I almost made it back. Ran a little bit short of battery, ended up ruining a battery doing the mile range. So I'll probably just stay with 25 milliwatts. I don't really need 200. And because that's the ultimate range, 1 mile, but typically just flying half mile is plenty of distance on this. So let's take a look at the video. I'm going to show you the 25 milliwatt first to 3/4 of a mile. And then I'll show you the 200 milliwatt, which takes it out all the way to a mile. And I have my base station is on top of my townhouse, and I'm using Clearview, and I have 8 dB high quality antennas. And I have some other videos. If you search, you can see more details on my base station, and then I'll list in the description everything too. So here I'm flying out on 25 milliwatts. On the downlink for the video, 5.8 gigahertz. My base station is 8 dB on Clearview, and that's 2 linear antennas. Everything's in the description. So I get a pretty clear signal here. I can get 8 minutes maximum flight time at the 25 milliwatts on this aircraft, so it allows I can go pretty far like that. I have to stay above everything because the antennas are line of sight. A single tree can knock the signal out. So you can't have anything in between the aircraft and your base station. Especially after rain, the trees are going to be wet. It'd be extreme. Yeah, you can see it's getting pretty grainy now. Just past half a mile. You'll see on when I do the 200 milliwatt, it clears up quite a bit. That church right across the intersection there, that's 3/4 mile. I actually lose reception in a couple areas and I have to fly blind with the 25 milliwatts. I might end up staying at the 200 milliwatt. Now see here, I'm right at the edge of reception. Clearview still has a lock, but if you lose the lock, you go totally blind, which you'll see shortly. When I fly across the street on the other side, going back, I'll lose lock. So I'm at 3 minutes right now on my flight time. And my throttle is at 60% or 59%. And that probably gives me 7 minutes till my battery's dead. Checking out this neighborhood here. I've never flown out this far. But yeah, you can see on the 25 milliwatt, it's pretty staticky. And that was hitting right at 3/4 mile. So now I'm headed back home. I'm going downwind now, so it's easier to get back. So right there, you just totally lose signal. So when I lose signal, I try to gain altitude. Right there, lost again, you know, lost the lock. Try to gain altitude and just keep going, headed back. Now I've gotten closer. So this is the 25 milliwatts. The screen's kind of grainy. I like this run cam camera though. It's got nice quality. Good image on it. Come back for landing here. Might be able to see my antennas on the roof. I have other videos on it if you want to see more on the ground station. So now let's see the 200 milliwatt with the longer range. So now I'm 200 milliwatts. When I'm really close to the antennas, it's I get a pretty bad signal. So right here is my clearest signal. And I can already see less grainy, having 10 times the power basically, or 8 times. So I think I got a little more headwind because I'm running about 63% on the throttle, and that's going to cut my flight time a little bit, which you'll see at the end of the flight when I run out of battery. So there's a grocery store I want to get to, and if I can make it there, it'll be 1 mile range, and then I got to make it back, which the key is having the long flight time. Definitely got a clearer signal. I cringe if I lose communication and I end in one of those trees, like way up in a tree. You know, this quadcopter is so small it'll just get stuck in anything. So try to hang out on the street there. That way I'd be able to find it. And it's so small nobody would even notice it's on the street. So notice I don't have any graininess at 200 milliwatts. Just takes a while to fly this far. It's a trade-off. If I raise the throttle higher, it cuts my flight time shorter. So now you can kind of see the grocery store I'm going to. And once I hit there, that's my 1 mile range. I was almost tempted just to bail. If I have to fly farther than a mile, I'm gonna have to do a one-way trip where I go to an area where I can find it and then just start dropping altitude, and then I'll lose signal and just fail safe. So now we're starting to get grainy at 1 mile. Still got a decent signal. Alright, so I'm 4 minutes in, which here's my mistake, because 8 minutes is with 25 milliwatts, and since I'm running 200 milliwatts, I overextended my one-way trip, end up destroying the battery. My altitude's a little higher than I need. If you can kind of see where I'm at. If you look at that white building, I'm kind of that direction right there. And then I'm cringing over this forest because I'm never going to get the quadcopter back, getting stuck in one of those trees. So I'm just trying to head straight back. There's a very subtle wind. This is the longest duration quadcopter I've been able to find for the sub 100 gram. So at 6 minutes, my battery is pretty punished. I'm starting to look where I gotta land. And actually, when I put the battery back on the charger, it had 2.7, but I swelled the battery a little bit. So I'm hitting 2.9, 2.8, 2.7, and right past that little bush there, power killed, but it landed square on the ground. And got my mile range. I hope you like watching the video. Thanks for watching.